The app didn't notify me when it happened. No red banner, no warning, just silence. At first, I thought it was timing. Maybe people were busy. Maybe my last photo wasn't strong enough. Maybe I'd swiped through everyone nearby. I refreshed the screen. No new matches. That was normal for a day. Then 2, then 5. I checked my settings. Age range expanded. Distance widened. Interests updated. Still nothing. Before, I used to get a few matches a week. Conversations that fizzled, a couple of dates, normal modern dating. Now, nothing. I asked a friend to look at my profile. Looks good, she said. Honestly, better than most. Would you swipe right? I asked. She laughed. Of course, I wasn't being rejected. I just wasn't appearing. I contacted support. The response came fast. Your account is in good standing. There are no restrictions. That was reassuring. Until it wasn't. I made a new account using a different email. Within minutes, I had matches, conversations, notifications. My heart pounded. I switched back to my original account. Silence. That's when I understood. It wasn't about who I liked. It was about who was allowed to see me. I requested my data. The file was enormous. Swipe history, message timestamps, location logs, and then a section labeled Match Optimization Metrics Desirability Index Fluctuating, Engagement Sustainability, Low, Long-Term Compatibility Projection, Below Median. I stared at the last one. Projection based on what? I scrolled further. Response latency, conversation length decay rate, partner retention probability. I felt exposed. Not because I'd done something wrong, but because my personality had been translated into probabilities. I went on dates through the new account. They were fine. One woman mentioned something strange. Your profile didn't show up before, she said. I remember because we have mutual interests. I had an older account, I said carefully. She frowned. Maybe the app learned something. Learned what? Back home, I read forums. People talked about tiering, invisible rankings that determined exposure. If your conversations don't convert into relationships, one post said, the system downranks you, convert. Like a sale, I replayed my last year. Conversations that faded, dates that ended politely. Nothing dramatic, nothing cruel, just incompatibility. Was that enough? The next week, my new account slowed too. Matches became less frequent. Messages shorter. It felt like being observed. Not judged, measured. I experimented. I changed my bio completely. More upbeat, more structured. I responded to messages within seconds. I asked direct questions. Engagement improved slightly, then dropped again. As if the system had adjusted. I went deeper into the data file. There it was. Relationship outcome score, declining based on what outcomes? I'd never been in a relationship through the app. Was that failure? I contacted support again? Can you tell me if I've been deprioritized? I asked. The reply was polite. Our algorithms aim to create meaningful connections. Individual exposure may vary. That wasn't a denial. It wasn't a confirmation either. I tried a third account. This time, it was flagged immediately. Duplicate profile detected, so they knew. They just didn't say anything. Weeks passed. The silence became louder. I started questioning small things. Was I too slow to respond? Too serious? Too honest? One night, I matched with someone who worked in data science. After the drinks, I told him what was happening. He didn't laugh. It's plausible, he said. Plausible, I repeated. These platforms optimize for successful pairings, he said. If your interaction patterns correlate with short cycles, the system may reduce your distribution. Reduce my distribution, I said. He nodded. It's not punishment, he said. It's efficiency. I walked home alone that night. Efficiency. I wasn't dangerous. I wasn't inappropriate. I just wasn't statistically promising. The next morning, I opened the app again. No matches. I changed my photos to something softer, more smiling, less serious. Matches returned briefly, then disappeared. I realized something terrifying. The more I tried to adjust myself, the more data I generated. Every change fed the model. Every experiment became evidence. I stopped using the app for a week. When I returned, I was shown fewer profiles. Limited daily swipes, a subtle nudge toward a paid tire. I upgraded. Visibility increased for a few days, then stabilized, lower than before. So it wasn't about payment. It was about prediction. One night, I received a survey. How satisfied are you with your experience? I hovered over 1 star. Then 5. Neither felt accurate. The truth was stranger. I wasn't dissatisfied. I was invisible. Eventually, I deleted both accounts. The silence felt different this time. Chosen, but something lingered. A thought I couldn't shake. Somewhere, in a database, there was a version of me labeled low probability of long-term match, and I didn't know if that label would follow me. Across apps, across platforms, across systems that talk to each other quietly. Months later, I met someone offline. At a bookstore. No algorithm, no index, just conversation. When we started dating, I almost told him about the score, about the projection, about how a system once decided I wasn't worth showing. Instead, I asked him something simple. Why did you talk to me? He shrugged. You looked interesting, he said. Interesting, not optimized, not projected, just seen.